Dear esteemed guests, faculty, students, and board members, my name is Abdulaziz Al-Bouanen, and I am the Deputy Secretary General of the 2017 Georgetown MUN Conference. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 12th Annual Georgetown Model United Nations Conference. It's been a long road for us, the board members, to plan every side to this conference, from the selection of chairs to the selection of topics for each of your committees, and to be able to offer you what we hope to be a wonderful conference. Today is our first day to convene together in this conference, and I promise you, you will enjoy every part of it. Just like you, I was participating in MUN when I was in high school. I started in grade 7, and I can tell you it gets better every year. I've been an admin, a delegate, and a chair, and I've learned many skills along the way. From writing resolutions to controlling and forming debate, and I also learned a lot of the developments of countries and the role of each country in the world, whether in economics, human rights, or political development. This road led me to this day, and here I am serving as your DSG. This year's theme is fostering development, complexities of intervention in a globalized world. And we have 9 committees from Human Rights to Security Council, and my committee, Social Development. Each committee will entertain and discuss the theme we have provided. I also have faith in you that you will give this conference everything you've got, as delegates representing countries from all over the world. I believe this conference will be an effective and entertaining one, so let's all enjoy this time, and I hope this conference will be a fruitful one. Thank you. Now please join me in watching a short video on Georgetown University School of Foreign Service in Qatar.
I chose Georgetown because of its reputation as a world-renowned institution that helps students to reach their potential because of the resources and tools that are available at our disposal. And I believe it's the best bridge for the future.
I chose Georgetown University in Qatar because it is an excellent opportunity to have a world-class university in the Gulf. Within our small student body, we have almost 50 nationalities, which means a lot of diversity, and I was able to engage with a lot of different people from different places while still maintaining a close relationship with them.
My family and I, we've lived overseas for many years. Before coming to Georgetown University in Qatar, I taught in Beirut, I taught in Hong Kong, and we were looking for another really great international experience. But not just anywhere. We were looking for a great institution, one that had really strong students and excellent colleagues. And ultimately, that's what drew us here to Georgetown University in Qatar.
Faculty here at Georgetown are very experienced. They're very professional. They come from a diverse background, and with that background, they bring their own perspectives to the classroom, which is very unique.
Faculty members come from all over the world. We have faculty members from the US, from England, from Ireland, from France, from Nigeria, from Lebanon, from Egypt, from China. It really is a global faculty.
I know a lot of my friends are involved in Model United Nations and Debate Club, and there's also a couple of extracurriculars that even take students out on cultural trips to different countries in order to, go to the places that we're learning about and visualize and see, just outside of the classroom as well, like what we're learning and how it affects the real world.
Outside the classroom, I'm involved in a program called HELP, which is very specific to Georgetown Qatar, and it's a program where we teach English to our service workers. We all see each other as part of the Hoya community. They're all also part of the Hoya community, so once a week we dedicate 2 hours to teaching them English. Another thing that I'm involved in is a peer-to-peer dialogue with Gaza students that's very unique to Georgetown Qatar.
Outside of my classroom, I do multiple things. I play sports. There are sports here in QF. I go to friends' houses. I've made local friends, which is fabulous. My favorite club would be Georgetown's debate team. I've traveled to different universities here in Doha, and I've debated against different schools. It's all for fun. There is a competition, but it was wonderful because I get to see what other students may think about a certain topic that I had a different view on.
When my students come back to visit me after graduation, I'm always proud of what they've accomplished with their Georgetown degrees.
Thank you for watching. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the next speaker, Dr. Brendan Hill. Dean Hill is the Associate Dean for Students at Georgetown University, School of Foreign Service in Qatar. He leads the Student Development Division, which includes Student Life, Admissions, the Student Wellness and Counseling Center, and the Career Center. He earned his BA in Philosophy from the University of Hawaii at Manoa and his PhD in European History from Georgetown University. Dr. Hill has been teaching the Georgetown Hoyas since 1996, first at Georgetown's campus in Washington, D.C., and for the past 11 years in Qatar. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Dean Hill.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction. And on behalf of Georgetown University, I'm here to welcome all of you, both the students who came locally and the students from the 14 schools that are overseas. Georgetown University has been here since 2005. And from our first year on, we have held this Model United Nations Conference. This is our 12th year, and that is an amazing accomplishment. In those 12 years, 3,750 students from around the world have participated in Georgetown's conference. Over 200 different schools have sent students to meet with their colleagues from all over the place. In fact, this year's conference, we have 50 of our current students running it, and many of them first heard about Georgetown University in Qatar by participating in this conference. And we hope that many of you in the audience now will start to consider us an option. But that's not the primary reason that we do this conference. We do this conference because we believe in the future. We believe in dialogue. We believe in cross-cultural communications. There is so much in this world today that gives us pause about the future of international organizations like the United Nations, like the EU, like the NAFTA Accords. So much of the world seems to be turning away from international organizations. And it's easy for someone of my generation to sit back and worry that the best of globalization is falling apart. And then I look at you, and what I see is the best of the future. What I see is a room full of students who have dedicated their lives, their free time, to engaging in dialogue with people of other cultures, to recognizing the importance of high-level dialogue and international organizations that foster them. So when I look out at an event like this, what I see is hope. And I know that the international system is not going to die because I know that your generation and people like you will keep it alive. Thank you very much and welcome. I'd like to now invite Nicole Suarez from the class of 2017 to read the list of participating schools.
Hello, my name is Nicole Suarez, and I'm the Chief of Staff at this year's Georgetown MUN. I will now recognize all of the schools participating in the 12th Annual Georgetown MUN Conference. When your school's name is called, we ask that you stand up and remain standing. Kindly hold all of your applause until all schools have been called. Schools in Qatar, Academic Bridge Program. If you please could hold all the applause until the end. Al Bayan Preparatory School for Girls. Al Jazeera Academy. Al Maha Academy for Boys. Al Maha Academy for Girls. Al Arqam Academy for Girls. American Academy School. Amna bint Wahab Independent Secondary School for Girls. Blythe Academy. Cambridge International School for Girls. Doha Academy, Doha Modern Indian School, DPS Modern Indian School, English Modern School Al Khor, International School of Shuaifat, Lycée Franco-Qatarien Voltaire, Michael E. DeBakey High School, Middle East International School, Newton International School, Park House English School, Philippine School Doha, Planet Georgetown, Qatar Academy, SEK International School, Stafford Sri Lankan School Doha, the Cambridge School, the English Modern School of Doha, the Next Generation School, then Lebanese School, Bosnia, the first Bosniak High School, China, Beijing National Day School, Ethiopia, the Greek Community School of Addis Ababa, Greece, American Community School Athens, Jordan, the Baptist School of Amman, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, International Program School, International Schools Group, Myanmar, International School of Myanmar, Oman, the American International School of Muscat, Palestine, the American International School in Gaza, South Africa, African Leadership Academy, Turkey, FMV, and ITU, and United States of America, Northfield, Mount Hermon. Ladies and gentlemen, the participants of the 2017 Model United Nations Conference. Please remain standing for the recitation of the MUN Honor Pledge led by Rania Sohail of Georgetown's class of 2017.
Delegates, please turn to Georgetown University Model United Nations Honor Pledge on page 6 of your program, please. Repeat after me. During this conference, I will do my best to find out as much as I can about the country or organization I am representing. I will converse with my peers from countries around the world in a civilized and respectful manner. Despite multi-party and often heated debates, I will try to remain calm and composed. I will respect the fact that people hailing from different cultures have different conceptions of the norms of social interactions. I will not only adopt to that, but take it as an opportunity to enhance my intercultural understanding. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage a member of Georgetown's class of 2018 and this year's MUN Secretary General, Nayab Rana.
I want you all to take a second and try and think, like really think, of something, anything that you believe belongs to your country, like a specific food or tradition or clothes, but something that you believe that no one else in the world has ever heard of or knows about. It's hard, isn't it? This is what we've realized sitting in our board meeting one Tuesday afternoon, brainstorming committee topics. There was no topic that didn't directly apply to at least 3 different nations at the same time. The modern world is such an interconnected entity that if we take a random sample of around 100 people in any metropolitan area of the world today, we are sure to see a plethora of nationalities, beliefs, and traditions represented within this small population. Now, you and I both know that technology, mainly this little thing known as the internet, gets a lot of credit nowadays for bridging the gap and bringing awareness to the world. And though this is a fact, I think sometimes we forget that before we could use BuzzFeed to see what video is trending in Iceland this week, the information we used to come from trade and travel. Now, not to turn this into a world history lesson or anything, but due to things such as imperial rule and colonization, almost each and every nation has dealt with one another through either invitation or force. We have all studied, or at least seen, the effects of intervention in our world, but have we ever really asked the question, what next? That's where we got the theme for this year. Fostering development, complexities of intervention in a globalized world. It's a mouthful. In the past century or so, we have seen the word intervention be thrown around like crazy. We have nations asking for foreign intervention to resolve internal conflicts, and then we have intervention taking place in nations without so much as their consent. What I'm trying to get at here is that intervention is a factor that kind of links all the issues in the world together. We're going to be looking at issues ranging from racism in sports to the refugee crisis in the next 4 days. And in some way or another, these are all shaped by some sort of intervention that took place at some point in time in history. Throughout this year's conference, we want you as delegates to not only think about solutions for these issues within the titles of your own committees, but think of them on a larger scale. How did this issue come to be? What factors play into it? But in particular, we want you all to ask, what next? What in the world has to change for us to resolve this issue? What do we, as global citizens of the world, have to do to play our part in solving this issue? I urge you all to enter these next 4 days of debate with an open mind and a healthy imagination. We're not here to simply replicate previous attempts made to solve these issues. We're here to make our own solution to these issues. I want you all to step out of the box and look at these topics from a different perspective, even if it may sound a little unconventional at times. Take this opportunity to learn from your fellow delegates, many of whom have traveled from places that differ greatly from the one that you come from. I hope these next 4 days provide you with the opportunity to learn about the world in the most unique way possible, by representing it yourselves. I'm honored that we can be a part of this experience with you, and I'm looking forward to an amazing conference. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce the keynote speaker for this year's Georgetown Model United Nations 2017 conference, Nasser Al-Jabr. Nasser Al-Jabr graduated from Georgetown University School of Foreign Service in 2010 with a bachelor's degree in international politics and a certificate in American studies. Nasser joined ExxonMobil in 2010 as the Community Affairs Advisor in the Public Affairs Department, before being promoted to the Community Investment Manager in 2013, where he planned and led several community events and cultivated relationships with prominent government stakeholders. During his tenure at ExxonMobil, Nasser continued to develop his leadership skills and communication skills through his participation and completion of the Qatar Leadership Center Rising Leaders Program. In 2015, Nasser joined Teach for Qatar, and soon after took the role of Deputy CEO, where he managed the relationships with key stakeholders and drove the development of the organizational policies and procedures. In 2016, Nasser's career progressed further, and he assumed the position of CEO of Teach for Qatar. Nasser successfully completed his Strategic Business Unit Management Master's Program from HEC in Qatar in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Nasser Al-Jabr to the stage after a short video clip.
They will tell you about a local NGO that was once an idea and a dream to some, that has now become a reality. What does the sign say? اترك بصمتك. Make your mark. Not gonna lie, this is a big statement, but it's even a bigger responsibility. Let's show you what we mean by that. In Teach for Qatar, we give an opportunity to young graduates and professionals who are passionate about teaching, but don't have the chance, mainly because they don't have a qualification in teaching. In Teach for Qatar, we help them get there Right now what we're showing you is what we call Summer Institute. This is where we train potential fellows for 7 weeks in the summer on how to become teachers. We give them workshops on leadership, classroom management, body language, and so much more to prep them to get into the schools. Of course, we have a team to accomplish that. Now, I've been talking a lot about what we do. Let me show you who those fellows are. There they are. Those people you're seeing right now, those are the people that have accepted the challenge to lead, to make a difference, and to make that mark.
فعلا هذه عملية تحدي شبه يومية. I do not regret a single day. There were days that I came back home and I was like, I'm done. Goodbye, ladies. Like, I really wanted to quit multiple times, but my mother, bless her, she always would sit me down and would tell me, remember why you got into this, and that's it. Just get through it. And I'm so glad that I did not quit.
اكتشفنا الصف أمر آخر تماما عن الجامعة وعن الشركة وعن الإطلاق. يحتاج أن تدخل في حصة بعرض مسرحي أو خلينا نقول يعني تبهر الطلاب في كل حصة بشيء مختلف.
يعني I can read people. It's crazy. Like I can read body language. I can kind of like assess whether this person understands what I'm saying or doesn't, or like they agree or don't agree. The hardest part I think is the student. This is a burden that has been like just like chilling right here, like on top of my heart, and like how am I gonna leave?
Good evening. I feel very privileged and humbled to be invited to address such a distinguished group of students from Qatar and all around the world. You have been provided with the opportunity and entrusted with the responsibility to be active participants in Georgetown's 12th consecutive Model United Nations. And soon you will delve into issues and discussions that are widely debated in world politics. Issues that affect the lives of many around the world. When I was invited to speak at the opening of the forum, I thought long and hard of what would be the most valuable theme I can address. I looked at the program and saw that a wide range of issues are to be covered. I realized that you will come across many technical experts in those specific fields, which is why I opted to talk to you today more about personal convictions and beliefs. Convictions and beliefs that I know will be valuable as you tackle issues of development, intervention, and other important matters. In an unprecedented era of globalization and interconnectedness, we are also experiencing, perhaps paradoxically, alarming divisions and inequities. We need to always remind ourselves that we may take items for granted, such as electricity, water, safety, economic independence, and even education. Millions around the world don't have those basic privileges and human rights. I'm fortunate enough to work and teach for Qatar, an organization that seeks to address some of those challenges, of providing future generations with equal opportunity, of actively taking place in the shaping of young minds. At TFQ, our mission is to develop and empower transformational leaders to be change agents in the classrooms, the schools, and the larger community. By selecting and training energetic, motivated, skilled, and passionate individuals to be teachers in our government schools, we provide students access to some of the brightest and most committed minds. Our students are now being taught by mechanical and chemical engineers, pharmacists, a pilot, and people with various backgrounds and degrees. On a personal side, I graduated from Georgetown in 2010. Although this is going to sound like an ad for Georgetown, my years here were among the best in my life. I came in not knowing what to expect exactly.
but I would summarize my Georgetown experience in two main themes: empathy and adaptability. Perhaps if you leave here tonight with one thing, one takeaway from my address, is that you need to practice empathy as part of your daily life. Make it a part of your nature. I was fortunate enough to take classes with people from all types of backgrounds, religions, affiliations, mindsets, and values. We disagreed heatedly in class and outside, and yet walked away in complete accord and understanding that although we disagreed, we had a greater understanding of the other's perspective, something I'm sure you will experience firsthand in the next 4 days. In fact, this learning has been one that also continued into my professional career at TFQ. And I'm happy to say that these same heated discussions resulted in comprehensive and strategic decisions in the benefit of the organizations. Though it was by no means easy, and this is a claim that I would not have been able to make back then, is that those experienced helped me deeply. I can now say, to try to understand the background and points of view of that person sitting across from me on the table. It is far more wise to place yourself in the experience and mindsets of those with whom you disagree than to place false generalizations that directly or indirectly contribute to the deterioration of relationships and worse, ultimately creating a breeding ground for hatred and conflict. In the most human forms, consider that that person with whom you disagree so passionately also has a family, also has their own concerns and worries, also faces challenges. Just like you see yourself as a proponent for good, so too do they. I want to be clear that I by no means am justifying fringe points of views that are seeded in hatred or bigotry, but I refer to the majority of people around you. I do not condone naivete or blind trust, but know that it takes so much more effort to hate than to love, so much more effort to be negative than positive. Secondly, adaptability, as you will experience firsthand, is that vital need for you to react to the situation around you. Be flexible and understand what you need to adapt to and what you cannot waver on. Your points of view may change with newly emerging information. Be accepting and excited for change. Allow yourself room for creativity and try new things. On a personal side, again, I will not stand here and make the claim that I have figured anything out or that I am doing what I always thought that I would be doing. I have undergone many transformations and at many points did not know what I was going to do with my career. I have changed my career path dramatically a mere 2 years ago, from oil and gas into education. Prior to that change, all I knew for sure was that I wanted to have some sort of meaningful impact on the ground. And I needed to satisfy that desire. I never imagined myself to be in the world of education. After all, education was that very thing we all seem to be avoiding. Yet here I am proudly leading an organization full of young leaders that will be a part of transformational change. Use these days in the MUN to explore what it is you are passionate about, where you see yourself adding value and contributing to society. Upon this realization that I wanted to do more, the opportunity to work at TFQ came along. And I wish I can say it was smooth sailing from then. Though my commitment to the actual work never wavered, it was and continues to be anything but a breeze. Why do I say this? Because I want you to keep in mind that positive change is never an easy endeavor. Whether you know it or not, you will have opportunities to significantly impact the lives of those around you. What you do with those opportunities will mark what you stand for, will mark your values, and will mark your imprint on this world. From that, I want to share my two main areas of focus quickly: people and values. What does development mean to you? Is it the infrastructure, the technology, economic development, medicine, sports, education? When we say global development, what do we really mean? What do all those developments try to achieve? Who are they for? Of course, they are all for the betterment of people. I am in the early stages of discovering that there is no more important single investment that you can make than investing in people and the development of people. A single class you may teach, a single word you may say, a single donation you may give, a single selfless effort you may pursue could have an immeasurable impact on a person who could go on to do great things. Why do we invest in our teachers? Why are the schools investing in all of you? Why is Georgetown investing in bringing you all together to discuss real global issues, to develop and invest in you? It might seem off topic that in a forum themed under development and intervention, I am speaking of values, but I genuinely believe that one cannot discuss these important themes without discussing the very core of what makes us able to develop, and that is our values. At TFQ, we are grounded in the belief that our values of respect, excellence, perseverance, collaboration, and leadership should drive every decision we make. As we continue to grow as an organization, we must not steer away from these values, and we must not compromise on referencing and considering them every step of the way. I ask you to make this very consideration when it comes to your development and growth, and when it comes to you discussing ranging issues from freedom of the press to refugees. Always stick to your values. As you face challenges in your life, grow and adapt, you will find yourself falling back on these very values that you hold dear to guide you in your decision making. Trust these values. Understand that they are what makes you unique, and they will never lead you astray. Though this is the Model United Nations, the issues that are discussed here are very real. Take advantage of this opportunity. Empathize, experience, strive to be change agents in this world. The world has enough followers. We need more powerful, moral, empathetic leaders to face the challenges with strength and conviction. Take a vow now that you will dedicate your life, or at least parts of your life, to improve and develop the lives of those around you, to have an impact, to be remembered nobly and in any capacity. Change does not have to be confined to sound bites. It does not have to be showy or extravagant. In fact, it usually isn't. Positive development and solving critical local and global issues is a strenuous and exhausting endeavor. It is not necessarily an enjoyable undertaking. There will be many points in which you doubt yourself. Points when those around you will question your motives and intention. Points in which your mind will legitimize the safer option of backing down and leaving it to someone else. What do you do at these times? What do you do when everything is telling you to stop? What do you do when your back is against the wall? When everything seems to be against you? Do you give in? Of course not. That's not why you're here. You stop. You take the time to consider your values. You reflect. You consult those around you. Listen and trust that all what has led you so successfully to this junction, and make those tough decisions and take those daunting steps towards positive change. I'll close by telling you what we tell our teachers. Leave your mark. Leave your mark in this forum. Leave your mark on those around you. Leave your mark in this world. Thank you for your valuable time. I wish you a successful forum and lively discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Al-Jaber. I would now recognize committee chairs. Please stand up on hearing your name. Commission for Social Development, Chair Abdul Aziz Al-Bunain, Vice President Mariam Al-Harthi. Disarmament and International Security Committee, DISEC, Chair Taimur Ali, Vice President Samira Al-Haj Abid, Rapporteur Lina Nuruddin. Historical Security Council HSC, Chair Mohammad Abu Hawash, Vice President Salma Hassan. Human Rights Council, Chair Rania Sohail, Vice President Omar Al-Khatib, Rapporteur Yasmin Fadeh. International Court of Justice, ICJ, Chair President Ritika Ramesh, Vice President Zubash Shakir, Registrar Sheila Nasri, Special Political and Decolonization Committee, SPECPOL, Chair Walid Zahoor, Vice President Aiza Khan, Security Council, Chair Diala Jandali, Vice President Mahir Al-Tobi, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, Chair Thana Al-Salabi, Vice President Al-Harith Ali, Rapporteur Lamia Al-Thani, World Health Organization, WHO, Chair Sara Al-Amin, Vice President Wesley Chen. Thank you. You may all sit down now. With the powers vested in me by Georgetown Model United Nations Student Board, it is my distinct pleasure to officially declare the 2017 Georgetown Qatar Model United Nations open.